Hello, hello there, my crafty friends. It's Candy here from sweetstamper.com, and I am happy to be with you here today on this very cold day in San Antonio. Here in South Central Texas, we are in freezing temperatures. And normally when it dips down to freezing, it gets up above freezing during the day, but not today. So we have frost outside and icy roads and things that we're not typically used to. Hey, Valerie, I'm glad you're here with me today. So every Thursday, I come to you here at 4 p.m. Central Time, and I usually, almost always, do simple stamping. I've been doing some online classes on Thursdays, so that's kind of preempted my usual, but I'm happy to be back today to my typical schedule of simple stamping. Hey, Barb, I'm glad you're here with me. So let me tell you a little bit about simple stamping and why I do it every Thursday. So simple stamping is just stamps, ink, and paper. So when you start stamping, you typically, that's where you start, with stamps, ink, and paper. And then we add little things along the way. Let me turn my messages off, sorry. Do not disturb. Okay, sorry. Hey, Laura, I'm glad you're here. But the essence of stamping is stamps, ink, and paper. So it's good to just kind of bring it back to basics. It's also the place where, whether you're a seasoned stamper, it's good to get back to basics. If you're a brand new stamper, it's great to find a place where you can jump in easily. Hey, Iris, I'm glad you're here with me today. So every month, Stampin' Up! Does a challenge, and it's a hashtag simple stamping. So that's the way I always label these, is hashtag simple stamping. And then there's some parameters. So for the month of February, it's stamps, ink, and paper. That's what simple stamping always starts with. And sometimes that's all it is. But this month, we're adding a punch. And then we also have the parameters of a theme. And the theme is either love or sympathy. Hi, Susie. So I wanted to do a sympathy card today. Like it or not, you know, we need them. And I do find, hey Gail, I do find that it's best to have sympathy cards in your stash, because when you need one, you need one. So I do think handmade sympathy cards are just a really lovely expression of our love and care for someone. So I'm going to go ahead and bring the camera down, and we're going to get started. Okay. Just a minute here. I'm going to show you where we're going. We're going to be using Ranunculus Romance. I keep trying to call it Romance Ranunculus. I keep getting it backwards. But this is in our, not our annual, it's in our spring catalog. And I was immediately drawn to the beautiful, beautiful artwork. On top of the fact that I actually enjoyed ranunculus in my garden growing up. My dad was military, so we were kind of here, there, and everywhere, but he liked to play with some flowers in the garden and brighten up our space wherever we were. And I was usually out there digging with him, and we had ranunculus on more than one occasion. So they're a beautiful, beautiful flower. I'm going to go with a really soft look today. Now, just for reference, I'm not going to use them today. I'm going to, the dies. So the stamp set is $32. The die, sorry, $23. The dies are $32. If you get them together, you get 10% off, and that is our bundle price. But I'm using just the stamps today. And I will also say, if you were just starting out on your stamping journey, this would be a great stamp set to put into your starter kit. Or maybe you've been on your stamping journey for a while and you've decided you're going to jump into the Stampin' Up! Kind of membership club. You know, a lot of us are members at Sam's Club or at Costco. And the great thing about being part of Stampin' Up! Is that you get a discount. So kind of like a discount club, you know. I know we were comparing prices the other day at Sam's Club with just Walmart. And the difference, you know, there is a difference. You get some help with your, you get discount pricing for that membership. So that's a little bit the way the Stampin' Up! Opportunity works. Now, you can grow a business like I did if you want, but you don't ever have to take an order. You can just enjoy your discount, and that is a great thing about the Stampin' Up! Starter Kit. Okay, so I've got things kind of assembled here, and I think I'm within camera range. So the punch I'm going to be using is the double oval punch. This is another one, another item that if you don't already have this, this needs to be on your shopping list. And I also think that Ranunculus Romance needs to be on your shopping list, and I'm going to see if I can convince you of that before we're done. Now I am going to add, you'll notice that there is no, you know, the light is just glaring there. Let me see if I can bring that down a little bit. Okay. The sympathy stamp I'm going to be using is Special Moments. Now this is a beautiful all greeting stamp set that is available as a celebration level 2 offering. So what that means is when you place a $100 order, you can get this absolutely free. So Linda, I'm glad you're here with me. And yes, you're right. It's a great day to be stamping indoors. It is cold and icy out there. Okay, here we go. Let's see what we're going to do. I've shown you what we're going to use. Now let's see how we are going to use it. When I get ready to stamp something, I like to have my stamps already on the blocks, and so it will start to go quickly. And one of the things I love about this Ranunculus Romance is that it makes really good collage-y looks. So I'm going to take some very vanilla cardstock, and I'm going to make a little bit of a collage. I think I'm crooked here. Let me see if I can straighten that. Okay. And I'm using gray granite. So I have a couple of, well, several things I like about sympathy cards and kind of the parameters that I use when I'm creating sympathy cards. I like them to be either soft or, you know, kind of regal and deep. I don't like anything too bold. And so this gray granite is the perfect color for me. And I do like, I like to use very vanilla as opposed to white because, again, it's just softer. And when I'm doing these kind of collage-y type looks, I like to typically do the largest images first and lay them down. And I'm just stamping one time with the ink. But look at the detailing on this stamp. I mean, it's really, really gorgeous. Of course, you could come in here and you could add color to these if you know, if you wanted to with, I would say not with a sympathy card, but with something else. So I'm just going to put those aside because I may put them on the inside. Now comes one of the fun bits, and that is I'm going to layer some of these other stamps. So this is kind of a, well, it's like a piece of lace. So I'm just going to stamp it off first, and that's going to give me some nice straight lines going across, and that is going to just give me a little bit of definition, some straight lines, and then let's see. This one is really cool. This is like, I don't know, it's like a little, I think it's in French, but I think it's like a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a shipping, like a little, almost like a shipping thing. And you can just keep stamping them without inking up again and get that really, really pretty look. And then I'm also going to use this little tiny one, and again, it's like a little tag that you would find, or a little stamp that you would see on an old-fashioned letter. So I like that. I think it's cool looking. And to me, it's kind of, I like my images on sympathy cards to kind of indicate, to me, this is like heaven bound, and that is the going in the heavenly mail. So there is my collage look. Now that's all just stamps, ink, and paper. That's all that is. Now I am going to mount that on a base of gray granite. So this is the ink color I have. Notice Gray granite is a very warm gray, and so it almost has the look of like a crumb cake, but it's even softer than that. And so it just has an elegance to it, and I think that's going to be just the ticket. Now I'm not going to put it down just yet because I am going to add a few more bits. Now I could add a strip across here. Now that's gray granite. I also thought about adding a little bit of color with, this is rich raspberry. So again, kind of going back to wanting there to be kind of a softness, a richness, anything like that, I'm happy with. So I think I'm going to try these both out, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this lace stamp, and I'm going to stamp it right on. Now when I'm stamping this on this rich raspberry, you just barely see it, but it's there. It kind of, it softens it. So let's add that here. And oh, I like that a lot. So let's see. Let's add our other pieces. Let's come, oh, we might even do both of them. Let's see. Maybe we'll just lay them on top of each other. Okay, it's time for the greeting. And I am going to, I think I'm going to use gray granite for the greeting, but I am going to bring in my black ink. So let me grab my tuxedo black. I want my greeting, this is all really soft, and I want my greeting to stand out. So with sympathy, I want it to be really visible. Not necessarily bold, but just kind of, yeah, just standing out a little bit. And this Special Moments is a photopolymer stamp set. Now I'm going to come along here and I'm going to use the ruffled stamp here, stamp punch. So there's my with sympathy right there. Now that's probably too much with both of those. But I could take one out, and let's just look if we go tone on tone. Now I am going to, again, just softening this up a little bit because everything here has stamping on it. So I'm going to come in with, get these boxes out of the way. I'm going to come in with this kind of like a ledger, whatever this stamp is. I'm going to find out what that is. And I'm going to stamp it off, and then I'm going to stamp it on here like that. And that's just going to give a little bit of softness there and kind of keep it in with the theme of everything being kind of a collage-y look. Hey, Susan, I'm glad you're here with me. We're making a sympathy card. Now, I want to do just a little something else to kind of bring this all together. So I have a couple of options here, and one of them, I'm going to do two different colors and see what we like the best. I keep wanting to bring that rich raspberry in, or I could bring in a little bit of black. So let's see. What I want to do is use one of these as a little outline, a little matte for my sympathy. So I could use just a wee bit of that. I think I like, yeah, that's soft enough. And I think that's what I'm looking for, is just a little bit of color, but not necessarily black. So I think I'm happy with that. And I think this was a little bit too much. Let's see. That's with the rich raspberry line across there. I think that's probably a little bit too much. So I'm going to go ahead and put these things down. If anybody has an opinion, I'd love to hear it. Haven't done a lot of virtual design work with y'all lately. And part of that is just because I've been trying to go a little bit quicker on my videos. So there is my background, and now I'm going to add my gray granite, and this has been stamped with more gray granite ink, and I used that lace stamp that is just so pretty. I love it. And that is going to end up going right there, partly because I'm trying to keep more of that flower in there. And then Oh, Susie, I'm glad you like this. Now, the way I'm going to get this framed on here is I'm going to add seal on both kind of edges of that. And then I'm going to come behind here with this little thin layer of rich raspberry. And I just whacked that in half. Now, I'm going to have a little bit of a gap here, but that's okay, because I think when I put it on there, it's going to look like it's supposed to be that way. So I'm kind of liking that. I think it's looking good. So I'm just going to pop that up with some dimensionals. And let's see, I've got these are the little mini. Well, when you get the black dimensionals, you get minis and regulars. This is one of the products that's included in my daffodil class, which is my monthly card class this month. I'm using the daffodils, and I talked about that at length on Tuesday. So this is next on your list. You know, I'm glad to hear that, Valerie. This is a lovely stamp set. There's a lot to love in this mini catalog, I have to say. Things that were on my shopping list to begin with, and then things that I thought, you know what, I think I'd like to get that and see what I can do with it. Sometimes I like to challenge myself to get a stamp set that I'm not sure is going to be easy for me to work with, but that I want to have a go at. Now, one of the reasons I brought these long skinny scissors over here is something I like to do sometimes is just to take the thinnest little sliver of a piece of cardstock, and I'm going to run it through my bone folder a few times, and what that does is it just softens, breaks down those fibers, and I'm going to make a little cardstock ribbon, and it's just a little thin one here. And that is going to give me just a little tiny embellishment without actually buying an embellishment. You know, this is a great tip when you don't have a particular color of a ribbon, is you can always use the cardstock. And this is one of those things I did when I first started stamping, was using a cardstock ribbon. So what I'm going to do is grab a it's a mini glue dot, and just put it on the back of the little knot, and then I can situate it right there, and then come along here and trim the ends. Now, they're a little bit straight and stiff, so let me just pull that in like so. That looks a little bit more like a ribbon. So you're working with On the Horizon set. That's a gorgeous set too. A lot of fun to work with. So there is my Stamps, Ink, and Paper card. That's my hashtag simple stamping card. One thing I do want to do is to add a little element of some of this pretty collage-y imagery to the inside of my card. Let me grab the gray granite ink once again. It's good to hear what you're working on, Valerie. I would love to hear what y'all are working on. That's fun info. In fact, last night, my team, we gathered on a Zoom call, and we had people from out of state, people from here in town, but from wherever we were gathering, we were just sharing what we've been working on. So it was just a casual little Zoom gathering. And Susan, who is here today, she was showing us some of the things she's been making. And it was just fun to see what some people were working on. Christmas cards, some people were working on Valentine's, some people were working on cards for their kids, some people were working on things where they were having classes, and people were working on all kinds of things. It was just good to see what people were stamping. I mean, that's what I am a little bit on the nosy side, I will confess to that. But also, I think that as crafters, we just like to see what other people are making. So that was just a nice little gathering last night. So that's it. Stamps, Ink, and Paper, hashtag simple stamping for the month of February. And it's stamped ink and paper with a theme of either sympathy or love. And the additions are a punch. So stamped ink, paper, and a punch. And Gail is reminding me to stamp my envelope. And I think what I'm going to do on this envelope is I'm going to put one of these gorgeous ranunculus flowers. They are beautiful. And again, you know, the artwork on here is really exquisite. I'm going to go all the way on there like that. That is a lovely envelope to go with my sympathy card. I'm glad you said that, Gail, because honestly, then it's ready to go. So this is ready to go. In fact, this may go. I have a dear friend who passed away in England, and this will mail for a single overseas stamp, which is nice. So this is the other thing about a little cardstock ribbon like that, is it doesn't add any bulk at all. I've got just a couple of dimensionals there. That will go for a single forever stamp in the US or a single international stamp if you're sending internationally. Okay, that is it for me today. And if you have not yet purchased your starter kit and become a member of Stampin' Up, which means you get to enjoy the fabulous discount. I have not paid full price for stamps since I joined. And I'm going on, I think I just turned 14 as a demonstrator. And it's just a lot of fun. And you don't have to run classes, you don't have to build a business, you don't have to do any of that. You can, if you want to, I'll help you. But the vast majority of my team members are just enjoying their discount, enjoying making pretty things, and saving money in the process. So I would love for you to join the Southern Sweet Stampers. There's room for you. There's a place for you at the table, as it were. So consider joining. I'm going to put the little join link up above. And you know, there's no contract with this. You don't have to stay for 14 years like I did. But a lot of us get in and we start just enjoying the connection and the creativity and the community, and we just stay. So that is it for today. Again, we were doing simple stamping. I'll be downloading this to YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate that so much. I will be here on Tuesday. It's going to be Teach Me Tuesday, and we're going to have some fun things to learn. Until then, stay warm. Stay off the icy roads if you're in Texas or beyond. Thank you again for joining me today. Take care, and God bless.